The following podcast is brought to you exclusively by the Rad Rob Radio Network. Through the years, we all remember when we first witnessed a national tragedy.
This is Dan Rather, CBS News in New York, with a special report about what apparently is an explosion of the Space Shuttle Challenger this morning, a minute and 12 seconds into the launch.
We remember the good times and the bad times through either a song, a TV show,
just a good old boy, never meaning no harm,
a monumental sports achievement, or even the smell of a particular food from when we were young.
2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and a sesame seed bun.
Welcome to the show that will take you on a journey through time to relive those iconic moments. Welcome to RTW Rewind, where old school rules. So, without any further delay, let's introduce you to the host of the show, Rad Rob Francois.
Hey guys, welcome back to RTW Rewind. This is day 2 of RadMania 6. And not only is it going to be a very, very entertaining episode, but it is too big for just one night. Just like me. It's going to be a 2-parter with a very good friend of mine. Known him for quite a while now. He is one of the stars of Get My Go. Also the host of It's Hughezy Hello. And whatever else he does. I don't know. I don't even listen to his shit, so I'll let him tell you all that. But in any event, I'm here. So let's bring him in. Congratulations, Hughezy. You are now, I would say, the third longest co-host on any of my shows because nobody else wants to work with me. So what's going on, brother?
Also, don't forget Keep No 100 Official, the vastly successful YouTube channel for the averagely successful Conan and Disco podcast, and the quite recently started show America versus Ireland, which I co-host with the great comedian Bob Levy, who people may remember from Howard Stern. Mm-hmm. But scheduling it is a effing nightmare. Effing stands for fucking, by the way.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. Congratulations on that. I'm a big fan of Bob Levy. That's cool. I may not check it out, but it's good that you're doing some new stuff. But it's been a while since we spoke. What have you been doing the last 6 to 8 months?
Rocking, rolling, and editing.
Okay. Well, you do more than Joe Feeney then.
Yeah, Conan just called me right before we were recording, and he says, "Hidely ho, Adam." He calls me Adam. And he says, "I just want to thank you specifically for all of the help you've done in making Keep 100 a success." And I said, "Charlie, it's okay."
So how come you're not the host? If he likes you so much, why don't you just replace Old Man Feeney? You should be the host of K100.
Too fucking busy. And to be totally honest, I have no idea how the fuck Joe does it. I used to think Joe was a lazy bastard, but seeing the amount of work he has to do with zero support from Conan and Disco, it's like, no, thank you.
That's fair. No, that's fair. I kid because I care. But no, congrats on the success of the channel. It's a pretty cool thing. Wasn't Durban doing something for Russo as well? Was he producing his YouTube channel?
Yeah, and they just had yesterday one of their biggest videos ever, which is been a pretty viral hit of Al Snow talking about how somebody is going to die in an AEW ring, and he just says it's a matter of when, so it's kind of gone viral-ish and growing. Oh, speaking of viral, thanks to Vince McMahon, I've generated, I know I shouldn't brag about this stuff, but thousands of dollars from him since his scandal, because I had another quick plug. If you go to Huge Entertainment on YouTube, I interviewed the great ECW legend Francine about 3 years ago, and in it she spoke about a creepy backstage encounter with Vince, which every time he creates some drama causes a whole new wave of hits. So now we're up to, I think it's just slightly under 170,000 views. Thank God for Vince McMahon.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. That's a lot of views. Are you more proud of him now that he shit on somebody's head, or before you knew that?
I think, as gross as that is, the hilarious part is the fact that he decided, listen, I'm into some weird stuff, but I'll pay you to shut the hell up. He goes, okay, shit all over me. I want to do it twice. No problem, just keep paying me. You'll get nothing. It's like, so you just shit on her? Like,
Yeah.
why would you do that? Like, you give her the money, you idiot, and it's like, she's a whore.
It's amazing the more I find out about Vince McMahon through this stuff. But I mean, we always knew he was fucked up to begin with, right? With the toilet humor, the Kiss My Ass Club,
Yeah.
the racist stuff he's done on TV. But shitting on somebody, I don't know. I can't imagine what he would have got out of that.
Yeah. I used to, when I would go to the cinema with Olivia, I would literally get up and leave the screening room to fart in the lobby. Because it's like, that would be kind of rude to do that around someone. So Vince instead shits on someone's back and then forehead.
Yeah.
And especially with all his protein in his diet, like that must have been a log.
Seriously, I remember listening to JR's first audiobook, and he talked about being stuck in a car with Vince, and Vince just farting the entire time, and JR wouldn't fucking sell it. So eventually he did. He's like, Jesus Christ, Vince goes, you know where I get all that smell from? Protein, pal, lots of protein. And JR finally fucking sold it, and it was a pretty funny, but that makes sense because Vince is what are you gonna do? Did you hear Brock Lesnar was back on their website?
Yes, and hopefully he's back soon in the game 2K24, because as I'm sure you've heard, you can't play him in the actual game, only in the WrestleMania showcase mode. And it is a shame because he's such a great character to play as.
Yeah.
He's so vicious that it's like, and also the crazy thing is that when you look at the bigger picture of this whole scandal, Brock Lesnar, even in her lawsuit, didn't do anything.
Right.
So he allegedly sent her gross text that can't be proven. So he not only didn't physically touch her, he didn't make her do anything, and she can't prove that there was any type of interaction with him. So it's like, okay, so get him back on TV, because everybody likes Brock Lesnar. He seems like such a nice guy.
Well, look, he's a super nice guy. He obviously hates being in the public and hates people in general. That's why he lives out in the middle of fucking Saskatchewan somewhere, I think. But
I thought that was just so people didn't see his daughter, that Frankenstein.
Ooh, yeah, she's tough, dude. She's
she looks like Jeff Jarrett on steroids.
She does. It reminds me of like Charlotte Flair, how much she looks like Rick, and I can never unsee that. Like that's like Ric Flair with tits, right? But like seeing Brock's daughter, no offense to her or whatever, but like you could tell that there's no doubt who her father is.
Oh fuck yeah, that's because I thought it was Brock. I thought, wow, he really did grow his hair long. But the thing that's so weird about it, like I don't know what her mother looks like, but when you look at Bruce Willis and Demi Moore, two of the most gorgeous people in history.
Yep.
And they have 3 daughters together, and they're 3 ugly fucking bitches.
It's true.
Is that how the fuck does that happen?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm ugly as fuck, but my daughter is absolutely fucking model gorgeous. So I mean, it obviously didn't come from me.
Well, I'm only into hot young boys, so I'm not into girls. So how would I know?
That's fair. No, that's fair. So we're here to talk about WrestleMania 39. Last year's WrestleMania, which was it was eventful to say the least. I thought the set was really cool. That was like the best part of the entire event, like the Hollywood, movie set and all that, and the theater look and all that. But there's a lot of controversy over the main event, which we will get into on our next episode, because I have a lot to say about that. But we're going to run down the card here as well. But there is one match off of night one that you did want to watch. And that was Dominik versus Rey. What in particular made you want to watch that match again?
It was in going into late from summer 2022 to way up until WrestleMania 39. I was like an old school Mark again because there was so many long term storylines going on where the Rey and Dominik stuff. There was the Sami Zayn and Bloodline stuff. There's others that have completely gone blank on right now. But there was loads of shit going on. Oh yeah, Lashley and Brock Lesnar, and there was all, and then the Bray Wyatt thing. I wonder how he's doing these days. And
Not doing much, from what I heard.
Lazy cunt. But all this stuff was going on where you think, wow, this is really fucking good. All these storylines, this is going to lead to an amazing WrestleMania. And then weirdly, all those long-term stories, well, I should say the majority of those long-term stories ended before WrestleMania. Yeah. So there was the cage match, the Elimination Chamber.
Yep.
Where they had all the blow-offs to these giant feuds, which I thought was really, really strange because this WrestleMania, as much as I enjoyed it, there's two storylines over 2 nights, and you just think, but like it ended up becoming a great show. But apart from Rey but specifically the Rey and Dominik thing, I thought it was a fucking masterpiece because Dominik is such a great heel.
Yes.
Everybody loves Rey Mysterio, and I remember watching that SmackDown when Rey finally hit Dominik and knocked him down, and he says, "I'll see you at WrestleMania." It was like, oh shit, wrestling's real. This is going to be a real fight. They're all going to kill each other.
Right. Well, our opening match was Austin Theory against the mostly balding John Cena. Of all the things he could have done, do you think, with all the money he's got, do you think he just put hair plugs in like Jake Roberts did?
Yeah, I can't get shake the feeling that John Cena, just by looking at him, I don't think he wipes properly.
That's fair.
It's just there's something about him that I think John Cena takes giant protein shits, but because of his big shoulders, he can't reach behind and do anything about it. But speaking of John Cena, I just finished watching his new film called Ricky Stenicki.
I'm sorry to hear that.
By the Farley brothers. Not very good, but Cena is very good in it. Yeah, this Theory and Cena one was a strange one in that Cena seemed really out of shape. Like he ran down the ramp and was literally sweating before the ring bell. The Austin Theory stuff, it was supposedly a big win for him, but then nothing happened.
Nothing. Literally nothing. You're right. Nothing. Nothing. Yeah. He gets the rub from Cena and then just goes back to the mid card.
Yeah, and the match itself
sucked.
Was it wasn't great. But at the same time, it was weird because it wasn't Vince McMahon still around at this time.
Yes.
So and Theory was one of Vince's projects.
Right.
So you could see why Cena was maybe willing to put him over, but makes you wonder as to what is to come. And I always find it fascinating, well, not fascinating at all, but mildly interesting to compare what these performers do year to year. Because the year before this, he was wrestling Pat McAfee.
Right.
Then John Cena. Now, seemingly not even going to be on the show at all.
It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what happened. Maybe, Vince was high on him, but never followed through. Maybe he thought the match was the shits, and neither of them could carry. I didn't like the match at all, but maybe Vince just kind of soured on him after that. I don't know why anybody thought a win over John Cena, who wrestles once a year, once every 3 years, is a big deal. Like, he's not the John Cena anymore. So to me, the match was just filler, or just something to get a star on the card, or maybe get Cena a paycheck. I wasn't a fan. It wasn't good at all.
Well, I can give you some trivia that based on Keeping 100 news. At one point, the plan for WrestleMania was to have LA Knight versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. But Austin refused to come in and lose or something like that. I don't know. So I think Vince was like, well, we need more stars, damn it.
Well, I could see why he did that then, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. In first on the card too, like that's how you're going to kick off WrestleMania is with bald John Cena against Austin Theory, who nobody likes.
Yeah, that was it was just a weird choice because really because if you're going to be at WrestleMania, you don't want to be in the daylight
Right.
because then it just looks like as stupid as this sounds, a match in a big venue.
Right.
Whereas it's at night when you get the lights out where you think, holy shit, look at this spectacle. Which
Especially for John Cena. I mean, yeah, I joke about him, but I mean, he still does carry a lot of weight. I mean, he's one of the greatest of all time. Yeah, it doesn't make sense why you just have him out there for the first match, and most people weren't even in their seats yet.
Yeah, and there's a great part of his new film where his character his job is he hosts a musical based on songs about whacking off. So yeah, and he goes through all these. Ooh, baby, I masturbate every day. I'm gonna have to rewatch that.
Maybe it's better than you thought. I'm a big Fairley Brothers fan. I thought, me, myself, and Irene is my favorite movie that they did.
That piece of shit comedian Matt Rife. Have you heard of him?
Yes.
Block me on Twitter because he wrote Me, Myself, and Irene is Jim Carrey's most underrated film. And I said, it's not even slightly underrated. It's a beloved classic that everybody has seen. So how the fuck is that underrated? And then he blocked me. And for the record, the most underrated Jim Carrey film is Ace Ventura 2. Okay?
Agreed. Yeah, that's weird to block you. Fucking, what's wrong with people, dude? Fucking snowflakes, man. They can't take any heat anymore.
Libtard.
He's a libtard. I forgot where I was going. Okay. Second match was the Street Profits taking on Braun Strowman and Ricochet, Alpha Academy, and the Viking Raiders. Is this a match to just literally get everybody on the card?
I think so. I remember because this is one of the things about about Triple H's run that I've noticed, and is that a match will just be announced, and that's it. And you think, yes, but why? And this match particularly, there was nothing on the line. I think like if you win, you win. It's like okay, so why would I give a fuck? But
it was literally just called a WrestleMania Tag Team Showcase match. Like
it was, but in rewatching it was a fucking great match. Like
it was. I know. I talked shit about it, but you're right. No, it really was a good match.
Because like you had Chad Gable busting his arse. What's the guy? Braun Strowman. He can actually move for such a huge guy. Ricochet did his own Hart impression. And then the Street Profits are fucking like they're great. But I just thought it was a great match that was pointless. So it's kind of like fun, but I'll not rewatch it.
I'm only assuming the Street Profits went over is because Montez Ford's wife, who's the real star of the family, was being showcased during WrestleMania. Because I thought that Street Profit gimmick was good, but I mean it just gets old after a while, right? Just fucking dancing, red solo cups, blah blah blah. Yeah, we know they're a great tag team, but they never really amounted to much. And they beat some pretty good teams. Like I love Alpha Academy. That was like in their infancy when they first kind of started. And we know how good Chad Gable is, and I think Otis is slightly underrated for a guy his size. He can move as well. So why they put the Street Profits over, I don't know. But I like you, I did enjoy the match.
My theory is that they put them over because of the reality TV show Love in WWE that Belair has.
True.
So I'm guessing they just wanted the part, even though I hate when they do that shit because I used to watch the fantastic Total Divas, and you would see these shit matches that like Natalia Neidhart wins, and you go what? And then you realize, oh, that's because they're going to storyline it for this fucking TV show that's so good.
Dude, all the years that she's been in wrestling, the lineage that she has sucked ever since day one. I have never been a fan of Natty Neidhart. I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. I don't think she's great in the ring. I think her character always sucks. Her promos suck. And then when you watch her on the show, she was just a fucking whiny bitch with a shit ton of cats.
Her social media, she posts these really weird photographs with her sister, and it's kind of like, are you trying to be all incestual, or what the fuck is going on here? And it's not even that her sister's good looking either. So what is going on?
Yeah.
Fucking Canadians.
Yeah. No, I don't get Canadians or the
Fuck
horses.
you, Trudeau, you piece of shit.
Blame Canada. Match 3. Seth freaking Rollins taking on Logan Paul. Are you a Logan Paul fan? Because there's a lot of the IWC that hate him just because he's a fucking YouTuber, but they don't want to give him credit, in my opinion, for being a fucking fantastic athlete and really gets the psychology of wrestling.
Yeah, he's shockingly good. I remember watching the Saudi match he had with Roman.
Yeah.
Which I think was his third match ever. And it was fucking fantastic. And it's just like, how the fuck did he do that?
Yeah.
But this is the thing with Seth Rollins. There's something about him that's kind of boring. Like he's kind of a mark for himself, and he's always moaning in interviews about, like, even though he's a multi-millionaire and he's consistently getting the push, he's always like, well, the backstage, they just don't listen to us and they don't do anything. And it's like, oh, fuck off.
Seriously, yeah. I mean, look how many pushes he's gotten over the years, especially, from Triple H and being his guy and, beating Kevin Owens and cashing in at WrestleMania in San Francisco with the briefcase. Like, what else do you want, dude? Like, you've been featured on, like, almost every single WrestleMania for the last, 6 to 8 years?
Yeah, and no, but this was great. I thought that Logan Paul is... see, the thing I like about him is he's got that Trump thing where he knows he's a dick, but he doesn't try to hide it. So the fact that he doesn't hide it weirdly makes him charismatic. He's like, oh yeah, this guy's a dick, and he's funny about it. So
I agree.
Yeah, what's so this year Rollins is wrestling McIntyre, and Logan Paul, it seems to be in this Randy Orton thing.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about fucking two guys that could have a really good match, is Randy and Logan. Even though, look, I love Randy, and I know he was out a long time with a back injury, but watching him come back for the last 6-7 months, he's pretty fucking slow, right? Like,
Yeah,
he's not the Randy Orton of old, so I don't know how much he actually has left in the tank, or if maybe even Logan's gonna have to carry that match. But I'm looking forward to seeing that if it happens.
yeah, I think it's a mixture of, because he's clearly like 20 pounds of solid muscle. That's always a natural sign.
Yeah.
Plus, the thing is, once you've been through a back injury like that, you're consistently wary of hurting it again. So I'm sure,
unless you're Shawn Michaels, who fucking had a longer run the second time than he did the first time after his injury.
Well, that's if his back injury's for real, because I interviewed the great Vince Russo, who says bro a lot, by the way. And me and Vince were talking about the fact that Shawn Michaels has no scar on his back.
Right. I never noticed that, actually.
Yeah, so if you having that kind of surgery, where's your scar? And also, when you look at some of the stuff he did in that match at Mania 14, if you're in that ring with a broken back, how the fuck are you doing super kicks and elbow drops? I've had a prolapse. I get a prolapse disc in 2013 that still gives me shit today.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've literally the base of your spine is broke, how are you wrestling? And like, nobody's that tough because there's nerves in your bones. So I think it was just Sean being a ne'er-do-well, excuse my French.
Do you think he was just too fucked up on drugs? And they're like, look, dude, you got to take a couple of years off, fucking get your life together. You're not at the top of your game. You're always being a fucking dick, or you're always passed out in Vince's office, or you know what I mean? Like, I never even put two and two together. Of course, Vince Russo would come up with that. He's the smartest man we've ever had in the business.
Yeah, but that
makes sense, though.
Yeah, I just think it was the fact that Shawn Michaels had this like mega push for all those years, but he never really caught on.
Right.
So maybe it was like bruised ego while Austin's doing great, and then
he didn't want to put him over legitimately, so he feigned a fucking back injury. That's kind of a dick move.
And I've always thought, I remember Eric Bischoff talking about that when Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart left WWE and they'd been the top guys there for what, like 5 years or something, 4 or 5 years.
Right.
As soon as they leave, the business gets bigger than ever.
That's true. That's true. Well, I think Steve Austin had a lot to do with that, but
yeah.
but no, I didn't put that together, and that's actually an interesting theory. But getting back to Rollins and Logan Paul, I enjoyed this match more than I thought I would. Like, I know Seth can go. He always has really good matches, but I kind of enjoyed just the pacing of the match and the psychology and all that. And for two guys that never had worked together in the ring, I thought they had pretty good chemistry.
Yeah, that's what it just is crazy that Logan Paul can do stuff like this so well when like John Cena wrestled Austin Theory and it wasn't good.
True.
It's like Logan Paul hasn't wrestled in total for an hour.
Well, I mean, can you name a John Cena match that was ever good that you would watch again?
Cena versus most of those Lesnar matches. But then I'm a mark for piss guys.
I was gonna say who carried those matches.
Yeah.
Lesnar thrown around 35 times at SummerSlam or whatever it was, and then that Extreme Rules match that they first had was pretty brutal. But the only match that I actually super enjoyed from Cena was him against Michaels on Raw. It was like a 30-40 minute match or something like that. It was really, really good, actually.
A match I didn't see until last Christmas for the first time was the Cena versus Punk match when Punk won the belt and walked out.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never seen that before. It was
Are you
fucking
serious?
amazing. Yeah, because I just didn't give I was never a CM Punk fan. But then seeing that match, I was like, holy shit, that was really fucking good.
It was fucking insane. And if it didn't happen in Chicago, would have had the same feeling? I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, that crowd was fucking hot.
Yeah, that was really good. And but at the same time, fuck him.
All right, moving on to our next match, which I know you're a fan of because you're a fan of the old ladies. And that's Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch taking on Damage Control, Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. Also known as Io Shirai. Again, is this another point where like, hey, we need to fucking boost the women's division because it sucks right now, and we need to get some stars on the card?
So back when this match happened, Trish and Becky were the tag champions, right?
Yes.
So, yet on the next night they had a 4-way women's tag match for no reason. So why not have take the belts off Trish and Becky, so that they could then that could give a reason to give a shit about the women. And this is another thing. I heard somebody say that there was a plan for WrestleMania, that there was going to be Tiffany for WrestleMania 40. There was going to be Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair against Damage Control. And it's like, right, do you know how bad that's going to visually look?
Right.
Like, even though there's the heels, but it's 3 fucking jacked up machines. Like that's not going to work out the way you hope so.
Were you impressed with the way Jade looked at Royal Rumble this year?
She could take a shit in my mouth if she wanted to. She looks fucking so good, but as a performer,
yeah.
She doesn't know what she's doing.
And she's still the shits. Yeah.
Yeah, I think her problem is that she's so muscular, and she's clearly that if she happens to get injured once, that's going to set her back big time. So I think she's so terrified of getting hurt.
I mean, she never did anything of note in AEW. I mean, it's funny. I remember watching when I did watch AEW, her coming in and they're touting her as like the number one free agent prospect, and I'm like, I've never even heard of this fucking chick. Like, they say that about like literally everybody from the indies that they signed at that point. But she always looked like $1 million, but she was green as fucking shit because she didn't have the proper training.
I'll tell you what it would do like about Damage Control, though, and this is going back to the video game. the level of detail in their ring gear. Because of that means that the game programmers have to really update the create a wrestler options. So thank you, Damage Control. You're number one. And Bailey, I would like her to sit in my face.
I was kind of pissed off at 2K, and I don't know if we talked about this off air about you play everything on the PS5. I don't have one, and I wasn't going to buy one just to play this game, but I have a really good graphics card and a good PC, so I bought it on Steam, and I got the early access by buying the 40 years WrestleMania package for $100 and something, whatever it was, for the first time. And it was shit from day one. So I'm like, all right, well, I got it 3 days early. Maybe come Friday or Saturday, after the launch day, it'll play better. And it still was shit. It literally took me like 50 times to get through the fucking first match of the showcase with Steamboat and Savage from WrestleMania 3, to where I finally got it fucking done this morning, and I got through WrestleMania 10. But I think I found out that it crashes every time I use OBS to record it with. So if I just use a screen grab, screen recorder through Xbox, the Xbox app on my PC, it actually runs well. But fuck me, dude, I can't tell you how frustrated I was trying to play this fucking game that I spent that much money on and looks so good to crash every fucking time I try to get through the first match. Like either the game itself would crash in the opening video, or like in the match, my guy would just stop moving and I couldn't fucking do anything. And I'm trying to do all the fucking objectives that they have, and every time I try to restart the match, fucking crash. So
but that's one of the things about that WrestleMania mode that drove me fucking insane was when I heard it being advertised, I thought this is going to be great. So it's like 40 years of WrestleMania. So you're like, okay, then clearly there's going to be 40 matches through the history of WrestleMania, one per show. I can't wait. And it's 20.
Yeah, and they skipped 1 and 2.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
And
so the 2K has Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper, Paul Orndorff in the game. Mr. T was in the previous one, and they have Muhammad Ali in this one.
for whatever reason, yeah.
Yeah, why isn't that in the fucking the game as a main event?
Agreed. Literally, it just should have been at least the first match, but they jump right to WrestleMania 3, skip 1 and 2. They skipped 4, did 5 and 6. They skipped 7 and went to 8.
Yeah.
Skipped 9 and went to 10. Yeah, you're right. It didn't make sense to me, but
and that's what's so annoying is that there's all these characters that are in the game, so they could have done Bret Hart versus Yokozuna or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Like they could. It's like what a wasted opportunity. And I got to the part when you play Cena versus Wyatt in the Funhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And it shouldn't be there because it's basically press X, and then there's a 4-minute video with like, okay, press circle, and it's like this is a complete waste of everyone's time.
When I was playing Hogan against Warrior from WrestleMania 6, I want to say the video that they put in the middle of the match was like 10 minutes long of just Ultimate Warrior and Hogan in a bear hug, and I'm like, was this really fucking necessary to show this much of that footage before I get back to the game? Like, that was unnecessarily long, and it kind of takes you out of the match, right? Because it just slows the fucking thing down. I don't understand the choices that they made because, like you said, they have all these characters, they have all these moments. But were you a fan of them, like playing fucking videos of the match in the middle? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
I don't mind that part because it's usually the heel or the opponent that's beating you up,
right?
But at the same time, it doesn't need to be in real time.
Yeah.
Like there's the fucking
and then you have Corey Graves like commentating during the whole thing. Like, why not just use the fucking commentary from the actual video?
Yeah, and then there's a part later on where you get to Lynch versus Roxy versus Charlotte Flair, and it's just insanely difficult because you got to switch between each character, and it just took me. It took forever, but I thought it was a great idea, just weird choices.
Have you played anything else other than that? Have you done any like Universe mode or My GM or anything like that yet?
I've never played Universe mode on it. I don't even understand what it is.
Okay, that's fair. Well, I
What
mean,
is universe mode?
you go through a week's long of schedules. You can pick, you can set up your roster for Raw or SmackDown or whatever. You can make any match that you want, and you just play out, week by week on the schedule. And they have cutscenes and run-ins and shit like that. So it's
Oh,
kind of, yeah, it's worth checking out. I like playing that.
uh,
Or the My Rise thing is fun.
yeah. I can't wait to get into my GM mode because last year it was so fucking good that I remember being out, was having dinner with Olivia, and I was literally, as Tony Khan-ish as this sounds, I was making booking plans on my phone. So I'm thinking, well, if we turn him heel, he can go after the tag belts with this guy, and then if this guy, we can push him to the top for Mania, and you just think, right, this is how it begins. If I had a billionaire dad, game on.
Unfortunately, you don't, and you're stuck doing what you're doing. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, you're still wildly successful. Probably more so than anybody else in Ireland.
Yep.
Our next match, Rey Mysterio taking on Dominik Mysterio, which we are going to watch and do a little watch along here. If you guys want to check it out on Peacock, do you have the WWE Network anymore in Ireland? Did they get rid of it yet?
I know we still have it, and I don't know. It sounds silly, but I'm not so much worried, but I don't want it to go away because I love the fact that it's just there, easily found. If I'm looking for stuff. At the same time, I rarely use it. Like I'll watch a pay-per-view. The what was the in Australia? I watched that, and I watched the Royal Rumble. But
it was Elimination Chamber, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, I watched that one. But I mean, they're still getting the money. But if it goes away to Netflix, I bet it's going to be a vastly limited version of the network. But then again, a lot of that older stuff from the 70s, I don't watch it. So
yeah, I don't watch the current product at all. So if I do use Peacock, it's because I feel like watching like an old Saturday Night's Main Event or something like that, or an old WrestleMania or SummerSlam, or some of the current pay-per-views. But I don't like Peacock because, like in WWE Network, you would be able to jump to any match. And Peacock doesn't allow you to do that. You literally have to search through however long in the video it is to find it. And they've had it for a couple of years now. It hasn't gotten any better from when they first started it. And adding some of the old content that we had in WWE Network, they didn't transfer all of it over. So if I'm looking for like primetime wrestling in '89 or whatever, like it's not all there. But when it goes to Netflix, the only thing I am excited about is the fact that hopefully Raw isn't fucking 3 hours anymore, and maybe I'll actually watch it, and maybe it'll go back to some kind of mature content now that it's behind a paywall.
Yeah, I can see this Netflix deal being a complete fucking disaster.
I think so.
Because at the same time, would you rather watch a 3 hour long show or a 2 hour long show, or would you rather just watch 9 minutes of clips on your phone the next day and be like, well, completely caught up, save 2 to 3 hours, and go do something else instead?
That's a good point. And that's typically what I do, is just to keep up on current stuff. I'll listen to podcasts like Monster, or I'll look at the clips on YouTube. So I don't have to sit through 3 hours of it. But I don't understand how you got Raw on Netflix. You're gonna have SmackDown on fucking, I don't even know, CW or something. Or there's like 4 different fucking ways you're gonna have to watch their programming. Why do they just put it on one fucking platform?
I just think it means separate deals so that when they can renegotiate, they have shit to bargain off each other.
That's true.
It's weird. Like I think that the business side of wrestling has never been more interesting. Like I don't really care about who ends streaks and stuff like that, but what I do find fascinating is the behind the scenes drama. I remember I was watching TV last August, and then I just seen on Twitter somebody wrote CM Punk just got into a fight with Jungle Boy. And you're like, what the fuck again? Right. And then you're just watching your phone, and you're like, this is fucking fascinating. Like this chaos. Like, why is it still crazy? And it's just getting worse. Like apparently, Sammy Guevara's been suspended again. What, the 6th time or something?
Yeah, because he's tried to kill the entire Hardy family,
Yeah.
including their kids.
Yeah. Oh God, it's so fucking crazy. But see that stuff I find fascinating. Like I interviewed a little name drop here, Evan Hughezy, and if you don't know the name, he's the creator of Dark Side of the Ring. And that's what he was basically saying too, is that he doesn't actually give a shit about wrestling, but these stories are fascinating.
Yeah, I watched the Earthquake one for the new season they just put out, and it's pretty fucking depressing. I mean, he's a super nice guy, and they talk to his kids, and they talk about how he died and all that. I'm like, man, this really. Why the fuck did I watch this?
Yeah, yeah. I thought I was watching the Earthquake one. It turns out I'm just talking to you. Roasted. There you go.
Let's get on to our watch along of the Dominik Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio match from WrestleMania 39.
That stage, that has to be the greatest stage ever.
I think it is. And who gives a fuck about this guy, by the way?
You know, it's so because Conan's always talking about him, Bad Bunny, and then I genuinely had never heard of him. You check his tour dates, and he's doing like sold out stadiums all around America. It's like, who the fuck is he? Like, name a song.
I couldn't name you one. I literally had never heard of him until I saw him on WWE. I had no idea who he was, and I looked him up, and I'm like, God damn, this guy is fucking over with everybody.
Look at all these dicks walking around. Like sit the fuck down.
Right.
Look, like this is what I love about the Dominik Mysterio character. Is it's like he's a bad guy, but it's also kind of funny where he's so tough and he's so dangerous that he had to be kept in a jail cell and led to the ring in cuffs for our safety.
That's true.
Like it's fucking hilarious. And but the great thing is that because he's not going like out there, and even when he joined the group, the Judgment Day, he's not like suddenly the toughest guy in the world. Like he's still a wimp that runs away from everyone.
Right, and Rhea Ripley does all the work for him. It's hilarious. I think it's genius. I really do. I love because he got boring for a while. Like it was cool to see him come in, and he was pretty good right off the bat, and was pretty athletic. And then it just got like, fuck me, this kid is never going to win anything. He's so fucking boring to watch. And then he turns heel, and it's suddenly must watch TV. I think he's fantastic as a heel.
Yeah, and I remember there was a whole big thing on Keeping 100 that like who's the better heel between him and fucking like Roman Reigns? Because everybody loves Roman, even though the boom, but with Dominik, it's like I remember watching this being like, I hope you get your fucking head kicked in.
Yes, I agree. And this whole setup is just fucking, it's so good. Like he's the most, I don't know why they didn't introduce him as the world's most dangerous man. That would have been even fucking funnier just as a rib.
If he'd have come out like carrying a dead policeman or something.
That would have played well too with today's society, actually.
Yeah.
And the mullet thing, like how can you take anybody with a mullet seriously?
But that's what makes it even better is that he has annoying hair,
like Eddie. To me, I still think he's Eddie's kid.
Yeah.
And then wearing a mask that's such a good touch.
It's just so fun. Like, how old do you feel? Because I remember watching the WCW event. It was Great American Bash of 95 or 96. And Rey Mysterio debuted to wrestle Dean Malenko. And now we're watching him wrestle his son, who's the same age that Rey was when he debuted in 96. And it's like, no.
That's true. And I think Rey was young too. I think he was like 17 or something back then.
Oh, yeah, because it's like, so I can remember that. But I can't remember fucking where the fuck my red shoes are. And they're red, and there's how do you see? This is the thing I like about that. Like Thank God those police were there because he would have killed these people.
He would have. All of them. All allegedly 70,000 of them.
Because that was because I don't know if you heard that Dominik was supposed to be feuding with Brock Lesnar. I don't know if it was to lead into WrestleMania or whatever. But of course, that match got cancelled because of the scandal. And then Keep Them 100 started getting all these matches saying Brock Lesnar just escaped an expensive hospital bill. Dominik would have ripped his head off.
I would have rather seen Brock and Gunther go at it for the Intercontinental title, which was another rumored match, which, fuck me, if he's back in good graces again, we're 3 weeks away as we're recording this, kayfabe, bro. Yeah, make the fucking match. Can you believe we're 3 weeks away and we don't have an entire fucking card?
Yeah, but it's Raw tonight, so they'll probably announce 10 matches. But that's one of the things that I have started really liking about the modern stuff is that you don't actually know what's going on. Because we all thought, oh, it's the Rock against Roman, and that'll be great. And then it turns out, no, now it's a tag match, and there's what do you call it? I've heard, I don't know if it's true, that Aaliyah Mysterio is dating Austin Theory.
I didn't hear that, but yeah, maybe so. I don't really care either way, but thanks for bringing that up.
What a great looking venue! And like I remember, because you can see the sun was starting to set, so all the lights are now starting to work. And I marked the fuck out for this because I'd gone to see Snoop Dogg in he played the Odyssey Arena in Belfast in April that year, so a month previously. And there was so many people in there smoking weed, and I wasn't. That I was the highest I've ever been in my life coming out of there, and just be like, oh, fuck. And like Snoop is here, and he's driving Mysterio to the ring, and he's playing one of the all-time great songs, Nothing But a G Thing. And it's like I was just going like, wrestling's fucking great again.
It's true. I thought it was pretty cool as well. And that's cool. You got all that contact high. You didn't have to pay for it.
Oh god, I was high as a kite for hours and hours. Didn't touch anything.
That's great. Snoop Dogg did play a role, by the way. Was it night 2, which we'll get into in the next episode, which made no fucking sense to me at all. But we'll get into that later.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how they didn't kill people with that giant mask out in the crowd.
I know. Look at how great that stage is. I was listening to this old Kevin Nash thing where he said that if anybody had a problem with Rey Mysterio backstage in WCW, she said that you might as well just quit because like everybody loves Rey.
Right.
So if he doesn't like you, then you're fucked.
I'm still shocked. I mean, I know, he started super, super young, but I mean, like all the knee injuries and shit he's had over the years. And, I just don't know how he's still able to even fucking go in the ring.
And he's still great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously he doesn't do all the high flying shit that he used to, but I mean, yeah, dude, like he's still, I don't know how he walks, dude. Literally don't know how he gets to the fucking ring, but it's still fun to see him out there. And what cooler thing to do than wrestle your kid at a fucking WrestleMania? Like as a dad myself, I can't imagine being able to share a moment like that with somebody. It's just a cool thing to watch, regardless of what you think of the match itself. Like just, it's really cool to just see father and son in there, sharing that time in the ring.
Yeah. And I remember, when these tickets went on sale, I was in London for the weekend. I'm not gay, and the tickets for the show sold out in less than 48 hours.
Wow!
And it was like holy shit, because for a while wrestling was not like that popular, and then it's like, so hang on, this stadium sold out in less than 2 days.
Which is pretty. I mean, it's pretty impressive because you're not only. Because of the 2 nights, you're however many people are there. If it's 60,000, it's 2 nights. You're selling 120,000 tickets.
Yeah,
that's pretty respectful.
And that's like you always get these emails in the Keep 100. These idiots going, "Why the fuck the WWE just put it back to one night. It's like, because double the money, that's why.
Yeah, fucking idiots. They're just pits that they gotta, buy 2 different tickets, which I get. Like if you were flying over from Ireland, you gotta spend a lot of goddamn money, and you're not gonna just go for one night. You're obviously gonna go for the entire weekend. So I mean, it just got exponentially more expensive for you if you wanted to travel.
Yeah,
Unless Conan gets you in.
Conan would not help me.
He's back in the good graces of WWE, isn't he, though?
Yeah. I think he was actually. I remember, if you follow Conan on Instagram, which is Conan at Conan 5150, he had behind the scenes video footage of him walking out into the staging area where he was told not to, and he's like, "I want to see the stage, bro."
Why did he sound Indian all of a sudden?
I know, because and ironically, him and Tatanka did look alike. Look at Dominik, the piece of shit.
He's so fucking good. Like he just you can't coach that. What do you like the fucking cinnamon toast crunch placement here during the match?
I do, especially because I don't know if it was timed for this, but because the sun is setting, it's bringing out all the colors.
That's racist.
Yeah. But I don't mind the cinnamon toast, although I don't like to mix them with other cereals. They should stick to their own.
Not a fan of interracial cereals.
I think the women are pretty hot, but that doesn't mean that I want them permanently. They're okay for a bit of a snack here once in a while.
Just ask Vince.
Oh, Jesus.
How cool is it to be Johnny Ace, though, right? Just getting blowjobs in your office all the time?
You know what I thought was so interesting about Johnny Ace coming out and dropping Vince in it? Is it whether he meant to or not? Is he actually goes, "Yeah, we abused her, but Vince, it was Vince's idea," and
Right.
it's like smart one, Johnny.
Vince made me do it.
Yeah, Vince made me get these blowjobs.
I don't even like him.
Yeah, I hate getting my dick sucked. But I've heard of so many other stories that'll probably end up coming out. Where do you remember there was a lady called Layla, and she was English?
Yes.
Her and Rosa Mendez were Michael Hayes' girls, so expect him to get called out soon.
Dude, I can't imagine someone like him over the years that hasn't ever gotten involved in some kind of a scandal.
Yeah. Did you see the Iron Claw film?
No, actually, I did. Was it any good?
I thought it was excellent, but it was like they were in a rush to tell the story where, like the glory days of, like, you never really got the feeling of how big the Von Erichs were, because they just do like a video montage that shows them like doing shows and the big matches and partying, and then it just gets straight into the tragedy. It's like it was great, but it could have been 5-star.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, we already know about all the tragedy and shit. There's other shit that I would like to know about, but I mean, yeah, like Von Erichs and the Freebirds were huge. I heard the guy that played Ric Flair did a horrible job at his promo.
Yeah, that was. He didn't even do there's at one point he shouts out "wow" instead of "woo." It's like you couldn't have fixed that in editing.
That's horrible. Yeah, no, that's a non-wrestling fan making a movie. God, they're pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Yeah,
the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
I love this bit.
What a fucking dick, man. He does that to his own sister.
That is so brilliant. This is so he can attack his own dad.
It's a great way to get heat, for sure.
But the thing, I would actually hope that they do some type of rematch for this, because what the storyline at the minute is Rey has the LWO, and they're feuding with Santos Escobar's group.
Right. Yep.
So they could do LWO versus that group, and put maybe Dominik can team up with the bad guys and all this shit, because there's 4 LWOs. Like because at the minute neither of them have a straight up like obvious match that's coming.
Just, I mean, just put the Judgment Day versus the LWO versus the other fucking illegals.
You know what was also great about this time of year was, of course, my very, very good arse. It was my very good friend Conan. We're so close. Old Charles himself did that speech the night before to induct Ray into the Hall of Fame. And that caused so much trouble behind the scenes that Billy Body ended up leaving. Well, should I say getting fired from Keeping 100? Thank God.
Oh, that was the reason why he got fired?
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure Conan said that there was some weirdness where at the hotel, or maybe it wasn't Conan that said it, but somebody where Billy get thrown out of the Wrestler Hotel because he was pestering people trying to get stuff signed. And I think Conan said that he walked through the lobby and he knew that Billy seen him, and that even Billy's son waved at him. But then Billy pretended not to see Conan.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fucking. But that shit caused so much trouble behind the scenes, for Keeping 100 because Billy kept reporting shit that was either fake or didn't happen. So
he's just like Meltzer and everybody else.
Yeah. So when the fans started writing in saying, Billy said that AJ Styles was going to AEW with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, which he did say. Nice move there by Dom.
That was a great move.
And then so Conan and Disco would go out of the way to defend him, being like, "Oh no, you're just a bunch of marks, and if you don't like him, stop listening." It's like, that's a smart way to build up your audience, guys.
No shit, right?
We're gonna keep giving you the stuff you don't want to fucking hear, and sign up to our Patreon, you marks.
The funniest thing I ever saw was Billy and Sean Ross Sapp fucking getting into each other's shit at some fucking Mark convention or whatever, and nobody wanted to fucking step up to each other. It was just, you guys should have done a Get My Go on that video.
Did you hear about the Billy and Karen Cross showdown?
No, what happened?
So Billy was on Keeping 100, and I can't remember specifically the story, but he said that like a fucking Dominik piece of shit.
What are you gonna do? Hit your mom now?
They tell her to shut her mouth. Fucking piece of shit.
And then he eats the fucking ring post.
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, Billy reported, "That's it, Ray, get a piece. Get a beach." Where he said that Scarlett Bordeaux had been having an affair with, I can't remember if he said Adam Cole or Seth Rollins.
What, is he fucking retarded?
Yes. And see, look, how the fuck does Ray still do that stuff?
I don't know.
And see, the problem is Billy has his own podcast where he goes on and says all this mad shit, and he goes, "I don't care about cancel culture. I'll say whatever I want." It's like, yeah, but you can't get canceled when nobody's listening.
That's right.
But when you're on Keeping 100 that does have this large audience and has like a YouTube channel run by a gorgeous man, can't remember his name, then people are going to hear what you say. And then, so Cross seen him at that convention and was basically saying, "Do you understand the shit that you're causing by saying this stuff?" And Billy, of course, backed down. But then again, who wouldn't? I wouldn't fuck with Cross.
I wouldn't either.
Cross get fucked at this one because I don't know if there was of course the cancelled match of Bobby Lashley against Bray Wyatt, and the finish, from what I've come to learn, is it was supposed to be the formation of a group called the Wyatt Six, which apparently is what they're doing now with Cross is a spin-off of the original plan.
Yeah, and you got Bo Dallas on his YouTube channel, like kind of trying to go. I don't know if he's going to business for himself, but he's doing all some kind of like weird, Wyatt Fiend videos and shit like that, like trying to get booked or something. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, that Wyatt stuff. Jesus, nice move.
Killed himself on that.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is that guy?
That's Finn Balor.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't even recognize him. I thought some fucking mark that came out from the crowd.
What do you think? All Irish look alike? Racist. But what happened with
I thought he was Scottish. My bad.
But what happened? What were we talking about there?
No fucking idea. I don't even know.
Oh, Billy and Cross or whatever.
Oh yeah, Billy and Cross. Yeah.
Oh
Sorry.
no, sorry, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course, with his the COVID shit, it ended up never happening, and he ended up dying. But what are the chances that somebody that had serious COVID would die after gaining 80 pounds? Like,
I don't know if it was COVID or the fucking 30 boosters he had to get.
probably a bit of both.
Were you guys required in Ireland to fucking get the shot, or did you volunteer?
I volunteered, but then I regret it because I've still never caught it, and it's not like I haven't tried.
Right.
No, but this will be interesting because I've seen because at the minute Damian Priest is the Money in the Bank guy, and
I thought that was Booker T for a minute. Sorry.
And the next Money in the Bank is May or something. So he needs to cash in soon. So I think he's going to cash in on Seth Rollins. Can you imagine if he cashed in on Cody Rhodes? That would be hilarious.
It would be hilarious. And look, I was talking to somebody about this earlier. Cody can win, and the next night on Raw just fucking lose it. Like, he finishes his fucking story, we're good with it, and then just take the fucking belt right off.
Yeah, Conan made a great point on Keeping Them 100, where he said it was like the Sting thing, where that build, the Sting versus Hogan, was at the time, it was like the greatest shit ever.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as Sting gets the belt, it's like, right now what?
Yeah, exactly. He was fucking sat upstairs for a year and didn't do shit, didn't say shit, and then you finally build up the match, and you're like, well, all right, now he's got to wrestle.
Yeah, and then so the hype is in the build to it. So if once Cody gets it, I bet there's going to be like a backlash and stuff. But I would have much rather seen The Rock versus Roman.
Yeah, and part of me still thinks we may get that next year, and it might be Roman's last match if the rumors I hear that leukemia is he's still dealing with the after effects of that, which fuck, stop being a pussy, man. Like, I don't understand why he has to work like fucking 3 times a year.
I think it's just simply because he can, because he was able to say to instead of them giving him like 10 million a year, he's like, okay, well, I'll work for the same money, but for like a third of the time. So technically, he's getting almost $1 million a match.
I mean, more power to him. If he can get paid that much and get away with it, sure, I'd do the same thing. I mean, what else does he really need to do?
I actually think that would help the whole roster in general, because if not that if people had part-time contracts, but it's like, right, for this next 4 months, you're going to be on the road while you group take 4 months recovery, then in 4 months you'll come back. And so instead of it being like a new talent, like everybody gets like time to relax and get a reboot while also healing up, getting in shape, all this shit.
I mean, that's smart, and that would allow for more creative booking, right? I mean, it's just not the same shit over and over again, or you're not trying to fit everybody into a card, but yeah, and it keeps people healthy. That's actually really good.
Fuck's sake, he did that to his mum. Points at his mum and blows a snot rocket. What a piece of shit. Yeah, because you always see that in the Keep 100 comments where the fans don't like the fact that Seth Rollins is always there on every show, no matter what.
Right.
But then with Roman, when you do see him, it's like, oh shit, it's the tribal chief. We're all marks.
It's a big deal, right? It's like the whole Brock thing.
Yeah, I would like Brock to come back. You know what I did hear that Conan said. This is on a YouTube clip where there was a one-time talk of some type of mega show in Mexico, where the planned talks was Rey versus Roman and Bad Bunny versus Dominik. Like, that would sell out any stadium there they had.
That's a rib, right?
No, I'm pretty sure he spoke about that.
I missed the finish. I don't even know what happened.
Bad Bunny hit Dominik with a chain, and Ray 619 them. And if Ray's daughter's listening, I'll 619 you without the one. Giggy!
That was a good match, even though we talked through the entire match. But it was fun to watch again.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, I blanked out at that part.
No, that whole storyline was amazing, and
No, it
I
was.
remember the was it the month? Yeah, Backlash the next month, because that Bruce Springsteen was playing Dublin, My Precious Bruce, and we went to see him on the Friday, came home on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday we were going back down to see Bruce again in Dublin. Hello, oh fuck, is that a bit of thong? Yeah, a bit of thong. She's like the arse on Ray's wife. Maxwell and Ray. So fucking
He's still smaller than both of them.
I don't know. That's unbelievable. Yeah, because they did that show from, was it Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
It was fucking amazing. Rey Mysterio, of course, fucked Jennifer Aniston.
Get out of here. Did he really?
Yeah.
Good for her. Yeah, it was a good match. I actually did enjoy watching that. Dominik was so good, dude. I
love that.
Good idea.
And that's the sort of shit where it's like, because once you get into this actual storyline, you just can't help but mark out for that sort of stuff. Because like I don't, like, you don't watch it and think, oh, I wonder what cool moves they're going to do. You just think, what's going to be the blow off, and technically it's still ongoing. So maybe there'll be a rematch down the line, boys.
I mean, I think there should be, and I think he should put the kid over and just kind of fade away into sunset. I mean, what else does Ray really need to fucking do? Like, just put the kid over and retire.
Yeah, Conan has said that they could do a mask versus hair match.
Fucking stop talking about Conan, for Christ's sakes. You've dropped his name like 35 times during the show.
Who, Conan?
Our next match was, speaking of Dominik, was his mommy, his real mommy, Rhea Ripley, taking on Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Yeah, I remember that being an amazing match, but that was another one of these Triple H things where there was no story. It's just the whole angle was that she won the Rumble and that's that. But it ended up being amazing.
It was a very, very good match, especially because we got to see, Rhea's tits during the entire match, which are just fucking number one.
That's kind of sexist because I prefer arses.
Okay, well, to each their own. Hey, I mean, you kind of play off the COVID match that they had at fucking the empty WrestleMania, where Rhea should have won the first time, but didn't.
Yeah, that was well, that one. I still, it's so dumb. I didn't really take the whole COVID pandemic that seriously until I seen that Vince McMahon was taking it seriously. Because he was the first guy to start doing shows again after 9/11, and there was even a Raw where the electricity went out, and they still tried to put on a show using flood lamps and stuff.
I mean, the show must go on. I mean, if Owen Hart dies in the middle of the ring, we got shit to do. We got to finish the show.
So even then, I was like, holy shit, is this COVID stuff going to be a problem? And it actually wasn't, but they made it one anyway. Yeah,
and then you had the Street Profits going behind the fucking glass that they put up, and they're just fucking sharing cups with people. That was that was fun. That was good COVID awareness right there.
Yeah, such a load of shit. I will never forgive them for COVID because I couldn't get my hair cut for like 7 months, and I ended up growing long Hugh Grant style curtains, and to this day, I have a natural center parting that I didn't have before.
No shit.
It drives me insane.
That is hilarious. I do remember that you were pretty lumberjacky during that time.
Oh my god, it was fucking hell.
How long were you guys locked down for?
Way up until I would say the restrictions didn't fully lift until I would say early 2022.
God damn, dude. That's a lot of drinking at
Oh
home.
fuck! You should have see the Christmas that crit of 2022 when it was fully open and the World Cup was on. I was probably the closest I've been to legitimate alcoholism.
You were drunk the
Oh
entire month.
Jesus! I think I drank at least a minimum of 8 Guinness per day for 2 months.
It's good for you, though. It is. Guinness is good for you. It's healthy.
Not if you. Yeah, it is good for you unless you think that rapid weight gain and permanently farting and being hungover and sweating is a bad thing for you.
Well, look at me. I've done it for the last, 7 or 8 years. What did you think of the Rhea and Charlotte match?
Loved it, but at the same time, it's one of those things where they've wrestled so many times before. I wasn't expecting to enjoy this because there was no storyline again, but ended up being really good and one of the better women's matches in history.
Agreed, which actually doesn't say much because, Judy Martin and Moolah were pretty good together.
And there's a guy I know, he's a podcaster. He co-hosts with the Ray Disco Inferno. I can't remember his name. But he said that one of the problems that they've done with Rhea Ripley is they've booked her so well that there's no one to beat her, and that anyone that's to beat her now will just get booed. So I don't think she's going to be losing the belt anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's going to happen this year either. Match number 7, Pat McAfee defeated The Miz by pinfall. What do you think of McAfee in the ring?
I had completely forgotten this match had happened. I have no memory of it all. But in the ring, yeah, he's all right. I mean, at the same time, I think he's having him wrestle matches, I think, is a step too far. Like they just about got away with the Johnny Knoxville and the Bad Bunny and the Logan Paul stuff. Yeah. But with McAfee, it's like, right, we get it. You like having outside celebrities, but that's enough.
The only McAfee thing I enjoyed was the program he had in NXT with Adam Cole.
Yeah!
I thought that was good shit. That was really good.
Yeah, I'd forgotten all about that. Yeah, that was
especially when he kicked him in the head and he's fucking just fucking like pulling up his jeans and showing his fucking massive calf and just points to it all the time like it's the golden leg. Like that's good shit. I love watching McAfee's show because he's just so entertaining, and he's a pretty good commentator too. I mean, I think he brings a lot to it, but in the ring, he's all right. But I did enjoy the stuff that they had with Cole.
He had that car crash interview with Vince McMahon where Vince had the microphone way over here and he's sort of mumbling and speaking, and it's just like, Vince, put the fucking microphone to your dumb lips, you stupid old man.
I don't think that interview will ever play again after all the shit that he's done. And I'm surprised they didn't try to wipe him from the game somehow.
Yeah.
What is up with fucking like Finkel's face is blurred out and fucking Mean Gene's face is blurred out and the referees, like, they don't want to pay him royalties?
You know what? Shit? That's actually is why they should stop showing the footage. Because it's like, if you can't fucking show it, and it looks, and because it makes you think that you've got one of those floaty things in your eyes.
Right. It's just weird. Like, Mean Gene can't be in the fucking footage, and Howard Finkel and Dave Hebner can't, like, it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, two out of 3 are dead, so it's not like they're gonna make any money.
Yeah, and that's what I don't get either. Like, if WWE owns the footage, what's up with the censorship? And also, there's a bit that I thought was very strange in the Charlotte Flair, the triple threat with Ripley and Rousey build up. They blur Vince's face out, yet they show him in the WrestleMania 17 stuff. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know. I don't get it. Our final match of night 1 was KO, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn, recently reunited after Elimination Chamber, taking on the Usos, Jay and Jimmy, for the Undisputed Tag Team Championship. Obviously, this was the payoff to that whole part of the Bloodline feud. With Sami defecting a lackey for them for so many months, and dude, I know we use underrated, overrated, blah, blah, blah all the time, but I mean, like, to me, Sami Zayn has to be one of the maybe, I don't say underappreciated guys of all time for just the quality of work that he puts in, even when he's not wrestling, just the character work that he does
Yeah.
for the last few years. It's been really fucking good.
That storyline with Sammy and Roman was so fucking good. Like that will be one of the all time greatest storylines because the acting was so good.
Yeah.
And it was like how are they doing this? Like it's literally just Sammy turning up on TV and saying Ushi instead of Juicy or whatever the thing.
Right.
And it was so good, and the fact that they took so long with it, which kind of goes back to the whole thing, Cody finished the story. But if you think back to this year, everybody actually wanted Roman versus Sammy.
Yeah, true.
And yet Cody got that spot, so that's why you can't listen to the fans.
Do you think had Punk not get hurt, and I'm even questioning if Punk was is even hurt, like he was so fucking gassed out at the Rumble. I really think he faked an arm injury because every time anybody would have like a major injury like that and have surgery, they'll at least show parts of like the disgusting fucking surgery of the surgeon cutting people open and shit like that. We didn't get that shit at all from Punk. We see him sitting on a gurney getting wheeled in, and then the next minute he's in a fucking brace and he's doing rehab. Like, I don't buy it, dude. I think he's full of shit. I think he couldn't go.
Yeah, I think there's some type of a giant work happening that, of course, because what's the guy? Oh fuck, I forgot. Oh, Drew McIntyre.
McIntyre has been fucking phenomenal with all this shit.
Yeah, but if that injury's real, that means Punk won't be back for 9 months or something. There's no way you could keep that storyline going for 9 months. So
True.
My theory is Punk is injured. They just somehow figured out a way to work all of us, and he's going to cost Drew the belt or make it a 3-way or some type of mad shit's going to happen. That we're all going bravo Triple H.
I like it. I like it. I think he will show up and maybe do a run in during the match. That's good shit. That's good shit, pal.
Yeah. I also if the Damien. I just think that whatever happens, because it's been such a weird build, and that there's no real interest in night one main event.
Well, I mean, look at the way they've treated fucking Rollins, dude. Look at the way they treated him during the press conference. When Rock is calling him, like telling him to shut up, the big boys are talking, right? And like Seth is just out there by himself, and it's Rock and Cody and Roman. It's like just the way they treated a supposed like world champion, especially a guy like him who's been there so long, was fucking weird to me, and it didn't make any sense. And all of a sudden now he won a tag with Cody. Like all of a sudden they're friends. Like what the fuck, dude?
But that's what makes you wonder because John Cena has been talking about how he's not available. So will he come in and replace Rollins?
Christ,
or whatever the fuck? Or maybe Stone Cold would do it, or I don't know who's available. But Triple H, he wouldn't be able to. He'd have a heart attack. Imagine it was Bray Wyatt. He suddenly turned up and you go, well, fuck, they worked us.
I expect him to be inducted into Hall of Fame. They've announced everybody except for him so far. I was kind of happy to see that Rotunda and Barry Windham are going in together. I was a fan of both of their careers. I mean, they should be in there separately, but whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think that I think that everybody is always deserving to go in at some point.
Because it's all subjective and it's all arbitrary. It was whoever Vince figured he wanted in at the time. But with Triple H having the pencil now, I just figured open up the fucking floodgates, bring back Demolition, forget about the fucking lawsuit that they had and all that. Like there's many teams that should be in there, and you guys picked the U.S. Express, who had one match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'd never even heard of them as a team until that show, until that announcement. But at the same time, IRS was great.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, just inducting them as a team that wrestled one time at WrestleMania, just because it's the 40th anniversary. Like, all right, I kind of get why, but Yeah, I mean, individually, obviously, they were, they had fantastic careers, and Wyndham had several gimmicks in WWE, and so did Rotunda. But I mean, it is what it is. I did enjoy the video of watching them, like, getting told about it by Triple H, because fucking marks are like, oh, who cares? It's a fake fucking Hall of Fame, wrestling scripted, blah 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 blah. Who cares who gets in? But when you watch reaction of the guys that are actually going in, it means everything to them. Like, and that's what these fucking stupid asshole fucking marks don't realize. Like, these guys fucking gave up their families for how many years, right? And went on the road for how many fucking days a year, especially like in the Crockett territory and all that, and WCW, and 300 something days a year. And to get recognized for doing your job better than thousands of others, it means a lot to the talent.
Yeah, and I always love it how the marks go, oh, the Hall of Fame doesn't actually matter. It's a load of shit. But why the fuck isn't this guy in there? And why the fuck haven't they? It's like I thought it didn't matter 2 seconds ago.
Right. Yeah, I know. You think Owen Hart gets in at some point?
Once again, going back to keeping it 100.
Fuck.
Somebody made a great point about, there was a guy who used to be called Max Moon or something, said that because The Rock is now the boss of the WWE, could he be the one that mends fences with Owen's family, because they were tight in real life?
True. Yeah.
So we'll see. I think whatever they'd planned with AEW, that didn't exactly work out for anyone. Like, I don't really know why or what exactly that was supposed to be.
Yeah, literally nobody cares.
Yeah.
Literally nobody cares about that. And then you got you got the Owen Hart, term or whatever, and Martha, gave her blessing. And then you have Sting rappelling from the fucking ceiling, which is the same thing that killed Martha's husband, and she's okay with it. Like, can Tony Khan be any more fucking tone deaf?
He's the thing about Tony Khan, every time he speaks in public, he lets himself down. So like he is a snowflake, and I think him and I'll not say the name, but Conan don't seem to be getting along, which should be good for clickbait for keeping 100.
Well, that wraps up night 1 of WrestleMania 39. I'm not selling Conan anymore. In fact, when we do our second show, I don't want to hear it again.
We didn't actually even speak about the match. The match was amazing.
Of course it was.
Perfect ending to night 1. I think it's really weird how Sami Zayn doesn't sweat. He has all that hair, but it's always dry. I don't know what that means scientifically. But the match was great. Loved it. And again, it's weird seeing that Sami Zayn had like 3 big WrestleMania moments back to back to now he's seemingly doing nothing.
And Triple H is supposed to be the genius, right? He's supposed to be the better booker than Vince. But to me, it's just the same old shit.
But I think they call him the better booker because there is a lot of good stuff happening, but that doesn't mean that it's perfect. Like, there's still a lot that needs, like the women still. Well, apart from like the women generally don't have storylines. Right. They just were like, I challenge you to a match. I'll see you on this date, and that's the show. And then they wonder why nobody gives a shit. It's like, well, because you didn't give us a reason to care.
I mean, I was still shocked to see that they had the women's tag team titles, because they've made those belts seem fucking non-existent. Like, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
Well, I forgot I was going to go with that. I don't know who came up with this. Maybe it was Triple H. Maybe it was Ari Emanuel or somebody. But the whole fucking Cody winning the Rumble, going on SmackDown saying, I don't want to wrestle Roman right now. I'll just fucking do it later. Here's The Rock. And then Rock takes the fucking spot. And then we have the presser, and we turn Rock heel and supposedly turn, Rollins into a bigger babyface. Like, who the fuck thought that was a good idea?
I will always prefer. I would always prefer it be The Rock versus Roman. It's just, I'm so goddamn cool that any type of super baby face like Cody is just like, this is kind of boring. So, like, obviously I'm going to watch WrestleMania, but at the same time, we could have been seeing The Rock versus Roman Reigns. One of the problems with The Rock's size is that there's no way he can maintain that for much longer. Like, at some point, he's going to have to be like, I need to drop weight. I can't be powerlifting. I'm in my 50s. I think we may have missed the moment, and this keeps happening. We never get to see Hogan and Austin. Never get to see Austin and Goldberg. The Rock versus Roman, we didn't get to see. Undertaker, Sting, we didn't get to see because they keep being like, "Oh, we'll delay it a year. We'll delay it." It's like okay, you delay it, but that means that the performers are getting a year older.
I mean, they should have done Rock and Roman in Hollywood. I mean, it would have been the perfect spot for that.
Exactly. That was. It should have happened last year. It would have been amazing. It should have been this year. I don't think we're ever going to see it, honestly.
Probably not. But I mean, seeing how injured Rock got fighting John Cena, and that was what, fucking almost 10 years ago, and maybe even so. Like,
yeah,
you know, he's that much older now, and you're right. He's too bulky to work. So, I mean, they could have done like a no holds barred match or something, and just had a bunch of run-ins or fought outside the ring, and didn't have to take a lot of bumps.
The thing about it is that it doesn't even have to be long. Like, if you look at Hogan versus The Rock, that was only a relatively short match, and Hogan would have been the age that The Rock is now. So just do the high spots and play to the crowd. Do then the people's elbow and the spear and the kick out. You think Rock's about to win, and Roman wins, and everyone goes, "Oh, what a heel! I hope somebody gets him next," and that's where Cody comes in. But
hindsight's 2020. Obviously, we're better bookers than he is.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that wraps it up for night 1 of WrestleMania 39 that we cover. We're going to be covering night 2 of WrestleMania 39 tomorrow for day 3 of RadMania. Give everybody your plugs, other than we already know you're on Kona and shit. Like, just fucking tell everybody else what you're doing.
At the Hughezy on Twitter.
X, buddy. It's not
at the Hughes on Instagram. Find me at Hughes Entertainment on YouTube, and of course, keep the 100 official. Get in the comments, become a member, subscribe, like, share, all the boring stuff.
Well, I appreciate being here, Hughezy. It's been a while. I'm looking forward to talking night 2. We're going to be watching Gunther taking on Sheamus and Drew McIntyre in a fucking slobberknocker, pal. Just convinced. I literally combined Jim Ross and Vince McMahon right there. Can you imagine those two together sexually?
Well, I'm sure that story will come out soon enough.
We'll see you guys tomorrow for day 3 of RadMania 6. Take care, guys.
Thank you for listening to this episode of RTW Rewind. For all the latest news and announcements, please follow us on Twitter at RTW Brand. You can also follow Rad Rob at Rad Rob Gaming. You've been listening to RTW Rewind exclusively here on the Rad Rob Radio Network.